Please mute. Please mute. Hello. Please mute. With many small SAF vacuoles. And continuously, they can perform mitosis. Okay, so here the mitosis is in two ways. Here, link this one with plant growth and development, arithmetic growth and geometric growth. Under the heading plant growth and development, we studied geometric growth and arithmetic growth. Okay. Next, with simple pits, with plasma desmata, concerned with intercellular transportation of materials. Plasma desmata well known to you. Cytoplasmic bridges. So here the purpose of a pit, whatever the type of pit, simple pit or bordered pit, the purpose of that is passage of so-called cytoplasmic bridges, plasma desmata, cytoplasmic bridges. They are concerned with intercellular transportation of materials. Okay, right? So they are enough. And what about the types of meristems and what about the origin of meristems? Here I'll give you just meristem origin and function. What about the function and origin of meristems? So definitely they will ask a question out of origin and of course function is well known to you. Ultimately, what is the function of meristem? Concerned with growth and development, but what type of growth? Primary growth, secondary growth, like that we need to discuss. So first one, apical meristems. And second one, intercalary meristems. So definitely their origin, these two are concerned with primary in origin, concerned with primary growth. Primary growth. Primary growth means elongation of the stem, root, like that. Apical meristems are situated at the apex of stem, its branches, root, its branches. So definitely they are concerned with elongation of concerned cylindrical structures. Intercalary meristem, that is well known to you. Primary growth, generally present in monocots, concerned with regeneration of last branches, leaves, which are removed by grazing and browsing animals. Okay, next, third one is very, very important. That is intracalary cambium. Intravascular cambium. Intra means inside, present between xylem and phloem, primary and secondary, primary and primary xylem and primary phloem within the primary dicot stem. So intravascular cambium or vascular cambium. So this one is primary meristem, primary in origin, but concerned with secondary growth. Okay, so that is very, very important. Okay, so that is the intravascular cambium, primary in origin, concerned with the secondary growth. And the fourth one, intervascular cambium. Origin, secondary in origin, concerned with secondary growth only. Secondary growth. Intervascular cambium. It is product of. It is produced by usually parenchyma by a process called as a dedifferentiation. Dedifferentiation. Okay, next. Fifth one. This is also, I'm including this one also. Vascular cambium of dicot and stems of gymnosperms is both primary and secondary in origin. Origin is both primary and secondary and concerned with secondary growth only. Concerned with secondary growth only. Secondary growth only. Okay. Next one. Actually, intervascular cambium, intravascular cambium, they are lateral meristems. Lateral means towards side, towards one side. And vascular cambium of roots with secondary growth. 100% secondary in origin. What about vascular cambium of dicot and gymnosperm stem, primary and secondary in origin? And what about vascular cambium of roots? 100% secondary in origin. Origin concerned with secondary growth only. And last one is very, very important. That is phellogen, wherever it is. Phellogen is always secondary in origin, concerned with the secondary growth only. Okay. 1 minute, hang on. One minute, hang on. Remove them. Anna need remove them. Another thing. A photo this one. Okay. So any doubt regarding this one? నేను చెప్పింది చేయరా అన్న దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి ఈ ఫోటో తీసేయమని చెప్పు. So any question regarding this one? Hello, please respond. Here, very important thing is differentiation, de-differentiation, redifferentiation. Okay, copy. Please unmute and speak to me. Any doubt regarding this one? My dear students, please respond. Okay. Now I am erasing the board. Now, what about permanent tissues? Here, permanent tissues, parenchyma, collenchyma, xylem, so-called tissues are well known to you. Here, important thing is where they are located. What about the location of all these tissues? Okay, right? If you take a dicot root, monocot root, dicot stem, monocot stem, all epidermal cells are always parenchymatous only. Okay, so first take parenchyma, simple tissue. So the characteristics of parenchyma well known to you. Living tissue, simple tissue, fundamental tissue, ground tissue. Maximum part of the plant body is constructed with parenchyma. Okay, right? And what about diversified functions of parenchyma also well known to you. So parenchyma is able to perform storage of food material and able to synthesize food material. Okay, and able to perform other functions. On the base of function, we divide parenchyma into 3 categories or not. What are they? 1, chlorenchyma. The chlorenchyma is parenchyma with chloroplast. For example, mesophyll. Mesophyll is one type of parenchyma only. And the storage parenchyma. The description of this one is well known to you and link the area where that storage parenchyma is present. For example, edible parts. edible tissues in plants, generally with a storage parenchyma. Okay, next, fruits with storage parenchyma, seeds, storage parenchyma. So use this knowledge and link that one with, for example, endosperm, nucellus, for example, nucellus. Nucellus is well known to you. Nucellus is with storage parenchyma or not? What is ovule, integumentary, megasporangium? Nucellus, storage parenchyma, and a remnant of that one, perisperm, storage parenchyma, endosperm, storage parenchyma, tapetum, storage parenchyma. Tapetum, go back to sexual reproduction in flowering glands. That is almost innermost layer of anther wall. That is also storage parenchyma. Alluran layer, that is part of endosperm. Alluran layer. Rich in proteins. Storage parenchyma. And parenchyma is well known to you. Okay, so like that, so many types of parenchyma. Generally, parenchyma is concerned with the formation of secondary meristems, which are concerned with secondary growth. Interfascicular cambium, product of parenchyma only. Phellogen, 100% product of parenchyma only. Okay, next, second one, parenchyma. So according to NCERT, parenchyma is restricted to generally dicot stem, but the given statements one by one present in pedicels, petioles, peduncle, stem, generally aerial parts. Not only generally, it is required in aerial parts only, not required in underground part. Even though the root is aerial in certain number of plants, there is no parenchyma. So parenchyma is restricted to shoot system only, particularly dicot, stem, pedicel, petioles, like that one. Wait one minute. Hang on. Okay. So here, type of parenchyma. Only one type, three types are there. Take only one according to textbook, that is angular parenchyma. Angular parenchyma. Most common type of parenchyma is angular parenchyma. Cells present in parenchyma, colocytes. Cell wall materials in both parenchyma and parenchyma. Pectin, cellulose, hemicellulose only, lignin is completely absent. In the case of parenchyma, more amount of pectin is present. That's why they are able to retain large amount of water. Okay, so that is able to provide a mechanical support. It is a living mechanical tissue able to provide tensile strength. That is well known. And one more thing, here in the case of a type of parenchyma, number of kinds of cells, only one kind. Here also one kind. But what about a sclerenchyma? Fibers, sclerites are present. Fibers and sclerites. So morphologically, what about the number of kinds of sclerenchymatous cells? Two types are present, fibers and sclerites. Dimorphic. So morphologically, how many types? dimorphic. Okay, dimorphic cells are present. Okay, so these are the three simple type of tissues. Complex tissues, xylem and phloem well known to you. Okay, and all these are with simple pits. And what about a sclerenchyma? Lignified cell walls are present. Lumen is present. And in all these living permanent tissues, except sclerenchyma cells, what about the location of staph vacuole and number of staph vacuoles? Only one staph vacuole is present, that is centrally located staph vacuole is present, unlike meristematic cells. For example, this is a meristematic cell. This one is a meristematic cell, and this one is a simple or permanent cell, and that is in living condition. So centrally located one is nucleus, and peripherally many small vacuoles are present. And what about a permanent cell? Vacuole at the center, and the nucleus is pushed towards periphery. Nucleus. Okay. Right. Next. Next, xylem components. So, what are the types of cells present in xylem that is well known to you? Tracheids, vessels are well known to you. These two are collectively called as tracheary elements. Okay, so out of NCERT textbook, lignified cell walls. Lignified cell walls are present in. Means what are the cells with the lignified walls? One, fibers, sclerides, tracheids, vessels. Okay, so completely dead. Third one, xylem parenchyma, that is well known to you. Xylem fibers. This knowledge is, you are already aware of this one. And here, very, very important is what are the tracheophytes and atracheophytes. Use that knowledge. And what about the shape of trachid and fiber? Are they similar? Yes. So trachid and fiber, morphologically similar. Trachid and fibers. These two are fusiform or spindle shaped. Okay, both are with lumens. Spindle shaped, fusiform. Okay. Next, phloem components also well known. What are the phloem components briefly? One, sieve cells, sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, phloem fibers. And here, very, very important thing is monocots are not having phloem parenchyma. And companion cells and sieve tubes are restricted to angiosperms only. Sieve cells are restricted to pteridophytes and gymnosperms. Okay, and this knowledge you are well aware of this one. And here, very important thing is exarch and endarch growth. What about the growth of the xylem? Exarch xylem. So exarch xylem means definitely. What about the growth of the xylem? Exarch xylem is present in roots, that is well known. So if it is exarch, what about the xylem growth? If it is exarch, definitely that must be xylem is with petal growth towards center. Protoxylem towards outside, metaxylem towards the center. Next, second one, endarch. These words are well known to you. Endarch xylem, leaves and stems. In this case, xylem is with centrifugal growth. Okay. Why am I? Hang on. Okay. Next. Out of tissue systems. Brown tissue system, vascular tissue system. So what are the structures and zones present in those tissue systems? So in the case of epidermal tissue system, what are the zones? What are the structures? One, that is cuticle. I have axis coating only, cuticle present. Stomata. Next, stomata. Next, trichomes. Trichomes. And the root eggs. These are parts or zones of epidermal tissue system. And in the case of ground tissue system, what are the zones? Hypodermis, this is well known. Next, general cortex. Next, endodermis. Next, mesophyll. Medulla, medullary rays. Medullary rays. Okay. Next, vascular rays also. Vascular rays. They're also called as secondary medullary rays. Okay. In vascular tissue system, what are the zones present? Pericycle, vascular bundles. Okay, so here, what are the types of vascular bundles? Vascular bundle types. In Telugu Academy, various steels given, proto-steel, one type of vascular bundle. Description was given in Telugu Academy text. Look into that one. Proto-steel, siphono-steel, soleno-steel, fourth one, dictio-steel. Okay, next. Conjoint collateral. Here are two types, open and closed. Open, closed. So here open and closed refers to what? That is very, very open means in between xylem and phloem, intravascular chemia is present. Otherwise it is closed. Conjoint collateral. Bicollateral, open. It's not given in NCERT. Bicollateral open vascular bundles present in the stems of cucurbits. Cucurbits and Solanaceae family members. Cucurbits and Solanaceae family members. Next, radial vascular bundles. Radial and closed vascular bundles, that is well known to your roots. Okay. So in the case of stems and leaves, what type of vascular bundles are present? That is very, very important. Conjoint collateral. That may be open or closed. Okay. Is it clear? Right. Next. Okay, today enough as less number of students are in the class. Tomorrow I will continue remaining part of anatomy reason. Anatomy secondary growth onwards very, very important. A tough question is possible out of anatomy secondary growth. Simple tissues, complex tissues, you can attempt any question possible out of parenchyma, collenchyma, xylem, phloem, and nothing about it. But the important thing is secondary growth, intrastellar, extrastellar, and what is sapwood, what is heartwood, annual ring, spring wood, autumn. So complicated questions are possible out of secondary growth. We'll see that one tomorrow. Okay. Bye. See you. We'll meet tomorrow. Same time. Any doubt regarding this one?
No, sir.
Hello. Tomorrow we'll see secondary growth.
Okay.
Okay. And one more thing. Hang on. What about yesterday exam? Yesterday you wrote day before yesterday, I think. On Saturday you completed. I think most of the questions are according to NCERT only, except one or two. Amino acid synthetase enzyme. Do you know what is amino acid synthetase enzyme? Have you attempted that question? Amino acid synthetase enzyme. What is amino acid synthetase enzyme? Anybody? One question was given. Please mute. Please mute. Yesterday question paper. Amino acid synthetase enzyme. under the heading translation, this enzyme is concerned with. For example, this is a amino acyl synthetase enzyme. Okay, so concerned with amino acid. Let's take one molecule of ATP. ATP molecule and cognate tRNA. Cognate tRNA. So what is the role of this enzyme? Amino acyl synthetase. Amino acyl synthase enzyme. So after activation of amino acid, for example, this is a tRNA molecule. Amino acid is transferred to tRNA molecule. So what is the role of this enzyme? Attachment of activated amino acid to tRNA molecule. Cognate. Cognate means consent tRNA. Yesterday they asked this question. Actually, this is beyond NCERT textbook. But at the time of translation, I told you, I explained like this: enzyme, activation of amino acid, attachment of amino acid to tRNA molecule. So what is the role of amino acid tRNA molecule? Attachment of activation of amino acid and attachment of activated amino acid to tRNA molecule. So this enzyme is able to attach activated amino acid to tRNA molecule. Now the tRNA is charged tRNA. So what is charged tRNA? Charged tRNA means, what is charged tRNA? tRNA with concerned amino acid or activated amino acid. Okay, that is the role of amino acid synthetase enzyme. Okay, is it clear? Okay, we will meet tomorrow and we will discuss secondary growth, particularly what about the role of vascular cambium and phelogen, and the link, we will link that one with differentiation, dedifferentiation. Okay, I see you. Any doubt regarding this one?
No, sir.
Okay, we will meet tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir.
Okay, bye. See. Okay, bye. See you.
Bye, sir.
Bye bye.